Getting to AEW.
Yes.
Let's discuss this Kenny Omega versus Rich Swann match that happened Sunday at Rebellion.
Okay.
And I'm gonna basically iterate what the internet has been saying, but I'm gonna probably put my own little seasonings on it. What the fuck was that match, and why the fuck did that match happen?
Here's the problem that I have with not only just with this match, with the idea of what they're doing now, because in my head, the way that I saw this whole thing going as far as the belt collector thing was to, bring up Kenny, obviously, whether it be by nefarious means or just have him being like the best bout machine. I thought the idea for all of this was to basically put another eye or more eyes on other companies and other promotions and elevate them. But during this whole process of him leading up to Rebellion, there we go. Leading up to Rebellion, it never seemed as though AEW's never seemed like their end game was to elevate Impact, because
it was a very one-sided partnership.
Thank you.
Now
this is hey, I give you exposure, and in return, Kenny takes your belt.
Yeah, basically.
This was the most one-sided partnership ever.
There was nothing plugged about Kenny's match against Rich Swann throughout the whole build-up.
Now, apparently, I didn't read the statement or try to go look for it, but apparently Tony Khan did explain why he never promoted Impact. But it was like, but how are you going to have a quote-unquote partnership if you're not going to explain said partnership?
Partners, yeah.
Yeah, and I think I know what you're talking about, Scoot, where they said that like the reason that they didn't promote anything is because like Tony Khan had to pay for promotional spots during Impact, and they just didn't do the same thing on for Dynamite. That's what you're referring to? Because I think that's what I had. I think I heard the same thing on that end.
I didn't know about that one.
I know it was something, but it was just weird at the fact that it was like, damn it. I think to me what made it weirder was the fact that it wasn't just anybody that was crossing over with Impact. It was Kenny Omega, and it was Kenny Omega, AEW World Champion.
Well, let's unpack it this way.
I thought that was the weirdest shit ever.
And this is why I'm going to say that AEW at this point is in the wrong on this end, mainly because if you think about it, you had Private Party compete for the Impact Tag Team titles.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So you had them on there. You've had Kenny on Impact plenty of times. Mm-hmm. But the only people that you've had from Impact on to AEW have been the Good Brothers. And that's not that doesn't help Impact. That helps Kenny. And that helps Don Callis. That doesn't help Impact. That doesn't say, hey, we're putting other people from Impact on a bigger platform to show more exposure. You have Dark Elevation, Dynamite. You have 3 shows and plenty of spots that you can take somebody and put them on there. You could throw somebody from the women's division on AEW.
I mean, at the very least, Rich Swann should have showed up.
Absolutely.
Oh, guys, no.
And now the question I have is like, what happened to early Dynamite? You remember when Cody was TNT champion and he was having these open challenges? You had anything come into play. He wasn't signed to AEW. You had Ricky Starks come in. He wasn't signed to AEW. You had Warhorse. He's gone. But again, somebody who's not signed to AEW. What happened to all these other people that were coming in that weren't signed, that were just getting shots here and there? What happened? Like this is the perfect time to have that exposure. If you have a partnership with Impact, a lot of these guys could have easily come over and shown what they can do on a bigger platform.
Hell, like Chris Bay or TJP or somebody could have wrestled Darby Allin for the TNT championship.
Thank you. You took it right out of my mouth right there. That's like, oh man, you could have had women fighting Sheeta for the championship.
Yeah,
and this whole time that Sheeta has not been wrestling for the championship.
Sheeta could have had an open challenge, and then boom, here comes Rosemary.
Oh my god, and that would have made her look
Deonna Purrazzo or something.
That would have made her look so much better than how we see her right now.
Yeah, like that was the weirdest. Honestly, this was about as worse as when the whole invasion angle happened in WWE.
Oh my god!
When they finally bought WCW and ECW, this was just as bad.
Yeah,
like now this partnership only benefited Kenny and Don Callis.
Yeah. This is very true. And now, granted, they have a chance to fix this. They can still make this right.
They're treading dangerous waters, though. Like,
yes,
like on the nepotism pit. Like,
yes.
Look at the only people that are benefiting here. Like, it's literally the elite.
It's literally the elite. Well,
I mean,
that's
like the only people that are benefiting from this Impact deal, like you just called out, Don Callis, Kenny, but also who else? The Good Brothers.
Yeah, but see, that's always been Cornette's beef with AEW. That's why he called it All Friends Wrestling. He was like, this is the only promotion I know where being a friend of the EVPs can get you a job.
Well, you see, that's where I disagreed with them because, like, I mean, yes, obviously, but right now to a degree, yes, like, but I don't think it's been all about that.
Yeah.
Yes.
But now they're getting into that.
Now they're getting into it, yes.
Because when they started AEW, there was like, shit, Cody banned himself from being the champion, like from being the AEW champion. The Young Bucks got eliminated from the opening tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, got beat by Private Party.
Exactly. So, like, no, I loved that they started out that way. I love that I thought they were going to stay that way, but I think this is like going to be. It's like, okay, we gave it the first year. Now we're going to start pulling our bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to start pulling our bullshit.
To be honest, though, it's great character work, but we need it to be just character work. Don't make it like bleed into the business where you're screwing over your partners. And like they only once, or no, now twice, have promoted Moxley's U.S. title champion or his U.S. championship matches. Excuse me from the back, all that. But yeah, now they're like it'll be on Dynamite. So I think that's the only reason that they're even plugging it. But yeah, they got to get more exposure or give more exposure for these people. I don't know.
Because like what? See, this is where it's weird because Kenny eventually has to go back and lose that title to somebody at Impact.
Yeah.
So
who's going to be Moose?
You're going to have to.
That's what some people thinking.
That's going to be Moose. Yeah.
Yeah, that Moose.
That's
cool. They're definitely going to have to start building up Impact some more. So maybe they're doing this for storyline purposes. I'm going to say that maybe they're doing it to show like, hey, you know, Impact, you're less than. So then Impact says, you know what, we're going to step our game up. We're going to show that we're not how you view us. Oh
God, what if this leads to an Impact invasion?
I mean,
the problem is, so I feel it'll be a little too late. Because
you think they should have pulled the gun on that or pulled the trigger on that sooner?
Because you got to think, we had the surprise of the Good Brothers, and they were the only ones. And kind of like what Dizzle said earlier, we had the surprise of Matt Hardy and Private Party showing up in Impact. That only led to like 2 different matches, and boom, that was it.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
And then we had the surprise of Kenta right after that.
And then I feel now a full Impact invasion will be a little just because this partnership has been going on since what? January?
Yeah,
something like that.
And then now you want to start integrating Impact's people with AEW? Like now? I mean, hell, the Good Brothers ain't even doing nothing anymore. They're just there.
They're just there.
They're not champions anymore, so.
Like the Good Brothers
Yeah.
are just there, just to.
Are
Just
they at least wrestling at Impact?
they wrestled Finjuice for the titles again, but Finjuice kept the belts. But yeah, I don't know what this. Hold on, let me. I don't know what this partnership supposed to be, but
Right.
it fell flat.
Yeah,
I mean, we'll see if it. I mean, as long as Kenny holds the belt, then we know for sure that this partnership is still in effect. So
true.
hopefully that it can be remedied.
I think it can, but it's honestly up to A. Well, I can't even say solely AEW because I mean I don't know what Don Callis is doing.
Hey,
So that's it's weird. It's a weird situation that they're in, and only I can do is just like hope that maybe, just maybe, they find a way out of this. Because just like you said, Scoot, during that time where Good Brothers invaded, I think that would have been, just like you said, the perfect time for them to kind of have this whole storyline to ramp up to show, hey, Impact's coming in. Y'all open the doors, we're here. But yeah, it would be something that would fall flat had they tried to do something like that now. So yeah, I don't know. I just and of course with the match between Swann and Omega, Swann looked like he didn't have a chance.
No, and that was the bad part. Not one time in that match did I think Swann was going to win.
Yeah,
not one time.
see, but is that their fault though? But like we knew this was gonna happen though. We knew that this match was gonna be a loss for Swann.
The problem with that is that it's one thing for us to go into something and be like, okay, you know what, Kenny's gonna win. He's gonna be the champion. Like that's by design. We're gonna think that automatically.
Mm-hmm.
But it's them to pull it off. I mean, okay, well, you know what, this could be a fuck finish. Nobody leaves with a championship, but when they put it title for title, that right there told me automatically Kenny's winning this, because there's no way out of all y'all done with Impact and not showing anybody on Dynamite from Impact that you're going to put your main title on
Rich
something that
Swann,
you haven't even shown on TV.
Rich Swann should have been on Dynamite 3-4 times.
Yeah.
At the very least.
Yeah.
So which is sad, because now it puts it in my mind. It's like, okay, one, how does AEW view Rich Swann? And two, how does Impact view Rich Swann as their champion?
Right. Because
it seems like they want Moose to be their champion or anybody else. It seems like Swann is the last person that you want to be champion. Which
I guess I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't for what they were planning. I wouldn't be surprised if they wanted Moose to win that match versus him and Swann. But due to the fact that they was already saying that, Kenny, belt collector, it probably wouldn't have looked right, Kenny beating Moose. So Kenny beating Swann looks a little more reasonable. So that's why I was saying I wouldn't be surprised if Moose maybe beats Kenny. Or Kenny's just like, hey, I don't want the belt no more. Whatever. I don't know. I don't know how this plays out.
You know what? That would be.
That makes a lot of sense.
That'd be a nice little caveat to his character, though, because just say, you know what? I'm tired of this. I don't want to defend it anymore. Here, like, just give it to somebody.
Just give it to somebody. Like, I don't want this title.
That's the nail in the coffin for Impact, though. If you do that, like,
that's true.
Like, at that point, it's like, do I really want to watch Impact, though? It's like Kenny just kind of mopped the floor with that whole title and just, like, said, fuck it.
Yeah.
But, hey.
I mean, that'll depend on Callis at that point.
Yeah.